Hi, I'm Tom McMillan, pastor at Knox Presbyterian Church. Our theme is walking with Jesus. And sometimes we walk with people in their times of grief. Sometimes we have the privilege and the honor and the difficult challenge of kind of walking with people toward their death. And it's a rather daunting responsibility, and yet kind of a holy place that we have alongside one in that moment of change and transition and loss. I had a friend that I coached baseball with years back. He was kind of the third base coach, and I was a first base coach, and at the end of that inning, we'd come talk about it. He was so full of life and charisma, but he found out that he had cancer at an early age. And he asked me, could you help me die? I will eventually die. I'm not going to be able to beat this, and I'm looking for someone to be with me. I said, yeah, I will help you die. And from that point on, for the next half year, we met about every other week or so, and I would come there and I would bring a Bible, and he wasn't real familiar with Scripture, and so I would read from the Psalms. And he kind of began taking a liking to that language, and then he took the Bible from me and began to read it. And I watched this man who was very, very confident and strong become very weak and yet assured that he was loved. And he found his voice in the Psalms, and he began to read it with this conviction. He found his life, his struggle, his cry, his lament in these Psalms. And I had this privilege of kind of listening to him and watching him, that as his body began to diminish, his soul began to almost kind of wake up as if for the first time. And it was really hard kind of walking with him and watching this process. And yet it gave me the importance of just being with each other in those moments. There are no grand answers. There are no right, eloquent words. Oftentimes, most of the time, it's just being with a person as they come to terms with the reality that they are not alone and that there's someone with them, and that God has a place for them and will never abandon them. And it's that place that God has prepared for all of us that gives us the courage to be with each other and even sometimes let go of our hold on this life, knowing that God is holding us close forever. Remember, you're not alone. God cares for you, and so do we.